Last week, the Boston Disability Commission, community members, and advocates banded together to commemorate the 34th anniversary of the passing of the Americans with Disabilities Act.
It was only 34 years ago where you didn't see a ramp at every curb so that people in wheelchairs like me could get on sidewalks. It was only 34 years ago where people were discriminated from jobs just because they were disabled. So the community's out here celebrating that landmark legislation that protected them from discrimination. And our office here in City Hall, the City of Boston's Disabilities Commission, ensures that Title II reaches its full promise in Boston. And what that means is any city program, service, or activity is accessible to people with disabilities.
It's so important for us to really be a home for everyone. That means Boston has to be reaching out to every single community and creating the spaces for people to come together. There is so much diversity within the disability community, and together all of the advocacy that we saw under this tent has led to a lot of changes around the city. And obviously there's a lot more to be done, but we know that we just have to follow the community's lead.
The ADA was a world-altering achievement for the disabled community, and in the 34 years since its passing, the disabled community has been fully accepted into society. But with the changing times, there is a need for more advocacy and inclusivity.
On the 4th of July, I was at a playground, and I was on a merry-go-round, and it was ADA accessible. And I loved that I was able to see a child on a wheelchair be able to enjoy the playground. And I think that that is one very core example of what we can do specifically for the youth that are part of the ADA community, to make sure that they are part of the community. When we're talking about our sidewalks, to make sure that they're wide enough, to make sure that they are accessible, to make sure that there are no cracks on the ground, so that people are able to use them safely. It's the little things that matter. You know, that when people on a day-to-day basis are able to live comfortably without having to think twice about what they're going to do, I think that that's when we can truly say that the city of Boston has become an inclusive city.
Disability is the one demographic that knows no boundaries. Anybody can become disabled at any time. Not everyone is born with a disability. And if most people are lucky enough to make it to an advanced age, they may experience some disabilities themselves. So really, when we make things accessible and inclusive, it benefits everyone, whether they're disabled or not. And we all know it's the right thing to do. We need to provide equity, but also dignity for people with disabilities in all the work that we do.
With the protection of the Americans with Disabilities Act, along with the support of advocates, living as a disabled individual in 2024 allows people to have more independence and live their lives with limitless possibilities.
So dignity means being able to present in the way that you feel most comfortable and live a life that you feel most in control of. You know, I'm a power chair user, and I love having use of my power chair because it allows me to live a dignified life. I'm able to present physically in a way that is comfortable to me, and I'm able to focus on, being articulate and getting my point across and advocating for other folks with disabilities. So again, dignity is being able to live a life that you feel most in control of and at the end of the day are happy with.
The City of Boston says that about 78,000 people identify as having a disability in Boston. For BNN News, I'm Akua DeVal.